This was Fox, Memphis, 5 years ago after the desecration of a grave. We all rallied together and did an interstate ride. We didn't go into the downtown area because Antifa and Black Lives Matter were down there. Corrupt, crooked attorneys combined with a sham nonprofit group that was put together for the sole purpose of desecrating this grave on national television. It was staged political agitation. That's the definition of terrorism. It's illegal. The only thing TBI did to these folks was give them a fine for a festival in their area, which is really concerning to me. We had helicopters over us.
This is Jim Spiewak here at one of the meetup locations where Confederate 901 is gearing up for a peaceful ride. They are going to be protesting the removal of Confederate statues that happened back on December 20th. We were on air for about 6.5 hours live that day. If you remember, when the city of Memphis, the city council unanimously voted to have the Nathan Bedford Forrest and the Jefferson Davis statues removed from what was once city-owned land. There are a couple of people that are lined up here. As you can see, they've got their trucks with their Confederate flags that are waving in the wind. It is a little chilly and brisk out here. They've been told to meet up at 10 o'clock. So there's about a dozen people at the location that we're at right now. We've been sitting here, we've been talking to them for about the last half hour or so. And we'll probably go over there in just a minute and talk to them again. You're going to hear from them as to why they are participating in this ride. So I wanted to get on Facebook Live. I wanted to take a look at some of your comments as you watch this Facebook Live video and give you a chance to hear the perspective from some of these people that are going to participate in this ride coming up. So actually, Renee, if you don't mind, we're on Facebook Live right now. I spoke with you just a little bit ago. Oh, and Joyce is coming over. Joyce, we talked with you as well. We're on Facebook Live right now.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what, so that we're not blasting into the sun here so that everyone can see, let's go this way. So tell everyone again, Renee, we'll start with you, why you're participating in today's ride.
I am participating in today's ride because I do not agree with taking down our national history, Southern history. I do not agree with desecrating graves.
What was your reaction when you saw those statues come down back at the end of December in Memphis?
Oh, my heart dropped. The first thing I thought of was we just desecrated a grave, and that's just a no-no in the United States of America. And like Joyce said, I'm going to let Joyce talk about that, but taking down all of our statues and our history.
So one of the questions that I'm going to ask everyone is, what do you want people to remember about your ride through Memphis today?
I want everyone to remember that this was a peaceful protest ride regarding our history. This is not a black and white racist war. It has nothing whatsoever to do with that. This is very peaceful. All we want is to keep our history intact, all of it, good or bad. We need to keep it intact.
All right, Renee, I appreciate that. So now we're going to talk with Joyce. Joyce, we spoke with you just a few minutes ago, and I want to ask you the question, why are you here today? Why are you participating in this ride?
I'm making history today. We are making history today. We're part of a community that wants to keep our statues. We want to keep our history. We want it to remain as what really happened. We don't want our statues taken down. We don't want to be able to have people say, well, we can take down those statues, so let's remove Elvis Presley, let's remove B.B. King, let's remove Martin Luther King. These people are a part of our Southern traditions. This is what happened in the South. This is how we made it. We made it this way. You can't just go around taking them down. What are you going to do, take down Abraham Lincoln? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Joyce, what was your reaction when you heard that those statues came down?
It broke my heart. It broke my heart. It really kind of was like somebody digging up somebody's grave and removing them. that is heartbreaking. I don't understand how that. I just don't understand how anyone else couldn't feel that same way. We all have relatives who died. Would you like to go up and took somewhere else because no one wants you to be there?
And you've had a chance to talk to some of the other people that are here right now. What's the general consensus as you're getting ready and gearing up for this ride? What is everyone talking about?
They're talking about, are we going to make history today? Are we going to keep this up? Are we going to continue to say, no, you cannot take the statues down. You cannot erase history. That is really what everyone's saying. You cannot erase history.
There was some talk of trying to get some permits to protest peacefully on foot. That didn't happen, so you're going to be participating in a ride.
Right.
Do you think the ride is going to be a strong enough message to get across? You're going to be going through town, through Memphis, I have to imagine. It sounds like from the organizers of Confederate 901, they're going to be driving for at least a few hours, they said. Do you think that message is going to be strong enough? Do you think it'll be heard loud and clear?
No, I think it'll be twisted. That's what I think. I think that people will twist it and just think what they want in their own head. But it's consistent, and we consistently do this every month or so, and it's a consistent journey to what the end results will be. Then I do think that, yes, a ride can serve great purposes. I've ridden a lot of Harley rides, lots of them. And we've raised money, and we've done, people know what we're doing, for the veterans and everything.
All right, Joyce, I appreciate it. Thanks again for talking with us.
Thank you.
So there you have it from a couple ladies that are going to be participating in today's ride. You heard a little bit as to why they are here, why they're participating right now today. Sir, if you don't mind. No, you don't want to talk? Okay. All right. So, some of the folks out here do want to talk. How about you, sir? Want to say a few words? So we're on Facebook Live right now. Tell me, why are you here today? Why are you going to be participating? I mean, this is your truck.
I don't know why this is froze.
Your flags are flying. Why are you participating in today's ride?
To preserve history.
And, we hear that a lot. A lot of people are saying that. Tell me, what does that mean in your mind, in your perspective?
My great-great-grandfather served in the Civil War as a Confederate soldier. He had no slaves. He was a sharecropper. And, if he thought the South was worth fighting for, we were thinking the history of the South is worth fighting for. And that's why I'm here.
And tell me, in your mind, in your opinion, why does the removal of those two statues in Memphis, as a lot of people are saying, erase that history in your mind? I want to hear from your words.
Whenever you take away the history that used to be, it's going to repeat itself. And if you do away with all the history, everything will come back around. So, that's why I'm saying taking the statue down, you'll forget history.
When did you make the decision that you were going to participate in today's ride?
Whenever I heard it on radio.
Okay.
So.
And what do you want people to remember and take away from your participation in today's ride?
That everybody has a right to express ourselves, black, white, green, purple, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the way we find to express ourselves. We're Southerners.
So you just heard that guy right there. He's not participating in this. He just yelled, "You lost. Get over it." When you hear something like that, what do you say to that?
It's still the South. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion.
Yeah.
So, just live with it and go on.
What do you think is going to transpire today? Do you think there's going to be any violence? Do you think there's going to be counter-protesters? What are you expecting
they
out of
might
today?
be counter-protests.
Yeah.
That's what I'm figuring. It'll be counter-protests because they hate the rebel flag so bad because it's supposed to be racist, but it's part of history. It's part of the South.
And it's not racist.
That's part of the South I think we need to preserve.
Let me get your thoughts on this. Yesterday, the NAACP said they're not going to participate. They're not going to counter-protest.
Yeah,
They said as long as you stay peaceful, they'll respect that. What are your thoughts to that?
All of Martin Luther King's protests started out the front of the crowd was all friendly and everything. At the back of the crowd, they're tearing everything up, looting. Because I lived in the 60s, I know about this.
Yeah.
And the people saying they're going to be doing, they're not going to bother. They're not the ones you got to worry about. It's the ruffians, the rednecks who don't care, and frankly don't give a shit about history. So.
And what about the fact that there's a guy by the name of Billy Roper? I mean, he's a self-described neo-Nazi. He has said on his social media he is planning on being in town today. Do you think that's productive or counterproductive for what you're trying to get across?
Counterproductive. I don't think violence should be part of it. I think what we're doing here is just showing our rights to freedom to fly the flag.
Mm-hmm.
And to do away with all the history is ludicrous.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, well, people call you the animal, you said, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate your time today, sir. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
All right, so there you have another supporter there of someone that did not want to see those statues come down. As you can see behind me, they're waving their flags, which, obviously they have the right to do. So if you're just joining us here on this Facebook Live, we're at one of the meetup locations. Confederate 901 has designated several of them across the Mid-South. They claim that there's going to be people coming in from a bunch of different states, and we're seeing people from several different states here at this particular meetup location right now. There's not too many, quite frankly, where we're at. There's probably only about a dozen right now, and we don't know exactly when Confederate 901 is planning on rolling everyone out. What they did say earlier this morning on a Facebook post was that they wanted everyone at the meetup locations there by 10 o'clock, and then they were going to go on and make an announcement at that point with some instructions, with some directions as to what the plan is from there. So we don't know exactly where they're going to be riding. Fox 13 does have several crews stationed in areas in and around Memphis. Again, I'm at one of the meetup locations right now, and we're going to follow the day's events. December 20th was a pivotal moment in the city of Memphis. That is when the city council unanimously voted to have those statues removed, and it happened within hours. What happened was, if you're unfamiliar, the city council voted to change the ordinance, the local ordinance that gave Mayor Jim Strickland the power to sell those two pieces of public land to anybody that he wanted to for a very nominal price. So they ended up selling it to Green Space, which is a nonprofit organization that we later found out, for $1,000 a piece. And Green Space then hired a contractor's crew to come out and have those statues removed. So they have been moved to an undisclosed location.
It was a sham by crooked attorneys.
What becomes of them, we don't know
The
yet.
nonprofit was put together for the sole purpose of doing this.
Behind me right now, and that is why people that are supporting
It was illegal,
Confederate 901 are in the city
shiesty,
of Memphis right.
unethical. I'm in here somewhere, and I don't know why it keeps pausing, you guys.
Now, they are protesting those statues being removed, and talking to several of them.
It was a grave site. We weren't just protesting the removal of the statues, even though that was disgusting in itself. The desecration of the grave was the actual reason.
They thought it was illegal. The city of Memphis says what they did was not illegal. It remains to be seen if there's going in the courts. This thing may play out in the courts. So those are some things that remain to be seen.
They did
These
find
folks out
them.
here that I'm talking to right now are saying is that what they're doing today is going to be peaceful. They're going to get in their trucks, they're going to get in their cars, and they're going to ride. They're going to drive.
We were not able to do the downtown because of threats of violence and attacks. We had to ride on the interstate, and we were disorganized. We will run off
I'm also seeing a
from
lot of
several
where are you
gathering
right
stations.
now. I'm not going to say exactly where I am for a couple of different reasons, but we are at one of the meetup locations, and so we've made the decision to just keep it at that. Again, there's probably there's not too many people at this particular location. We don't know exactly when they're going to be rolling out, but I just wanted to get on here and let you know that we're going to be following their progress all day long. We're going to be documenting and reporting the events and as they transpire and as they play out. And you did hear from at least 3 people right here that say, in their opinion, history has changed because of what happened, of those statues being removed, and they want people to know that they don't agree with it. So we appreciate everyone's comments. We appreciate everyone's engagement on this. This is obviously a very polarizing issue, no matter which side of it you sit on. But we will be out here throughout the course of the day. We will be documenting everything that happens. So make sure you stay with Fox 13 on our social media platforms. We're going to be streaming today's events on our website as they start to gear up here. And again, we've got crews all over Memphis right now. Another thing I wanted to mention is that the Memphis Police Department, I've spoken with them several times over the course of the week. They're well aware of everything that is going on. They've talked with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. They've talked with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, even their federal partners. They've all spoken with, and they are well aware of everything that is going on, and they are prepared for anything and everything. The Memphis Police Department told me they don't expect anything to get violent today, but they're ready. They're ready in case things go the way that they don't want them to. So for public safety concerns out there, just know that law enforcement is well equipped and they're well aware for anything that might go on. They also did mention, as it pertains to some areas downtown, depending on where this ride goes, there might be some road closures, or police might have to divert traffic a little bit. And again, that's all predicated on what happens and where this ride goes. So it's important to know that your Memphis police, they've talked with their partners. They've come up with plans well in advance. Also, the city of Memphis is posting updates as well as far as public safety concerns and anything that the public needs to know. So we're going to be monitoring that. We're talking with city officials all day long to figure out if there's anything that the public needs to know as today's events transpire and play out. So we're here at the meetup location. We're going to continue to hang out here. We're going to talk to these folks. We're going to wait around, and when they start to take off, like I said, we're going to be documenting today's events. We're going to be following along, and we're going to be documenting and reporting everything that transpires. Heritage, not hate. Character, not color. You know, we talked with some of the folks here, and they're telling me that in their mind, this isn't a black thing, this isn't a white thing. This is, according to them, this is about history and preserving history as they see it. That's what they're saying. That's what they're telling me. There's a few more people meeting up. As you can see, you know, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Jarita Patterson, she has the latest from Health Sciences Park. That's where Jarita Patterson is. I got a call from a source saying that there was like 20-some TBI agents out there and like 53 MPD officers.
I got followed after this event, and people tried to box me in. It was 3 vehicles from Chicago, Illinois plates, probably rentals. But they tried to box me in. I went through 2 different loops on the interstate to get away from them. All I thought about was Anthony Hervey and how he got pushed off the road and died.
Give you a look as to what's going on here.
State police weren't concerned about it, though. I got their license plate numbers and everything else. I pulled up at a gas station after the second time, and I realized they were definitely following me. I acted like I was going to get gas.
Says, hope you get the
I went in the store, used the restroom, and I ran out. I left them in the dust. My vehicle did get sabotaged after this ride. My Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited.
Well, we're not going to be able to wait for him. The manager here says that y'all cannot be here.
This is where we got rent off from Walmart. so we had to realign. It cut down on the numbers, but we still had over 100 and something vehicles riding up and down the interstate.
Y'all be safe.
Where do y'all want to go? Where should we go? Everybody have the next parking lot open?
Come on.
We're gonna follow the flags.
All right, follow the flag.
All right, so that was Walmart Security and Management, and they have asked the group to move off the parking lot grounds here. Obviously, this is private property, so we're going to follow along with them and see where they go. So that didn't take long for that to happen. But again, everyone here agrees. They said, sure, absolutely, no problem, no problems there. They said they're going to move on out. So if you stick with us here, we'll kind of follow the crowd and see where they go from here as we get in a warm car now, finally. It's a little chilly out there. What's it say? It's 29 degrees. Got the gloves on.
Took them forever.
Yeah, we've been here about 45 minutes, and so it took them about 45 minutes. When we got here a little bit before 10 o'clock, there were already cars here, so that was one of the things that we talked about when we rolled up is, are they going to make them leave private property? And that's the thing. This is private property. This is owned by a business, so they have...
Sounds like his passenger wanted him to do that, doesn't it? Busted.
There's a couple things that are involved in this. Obviously, it's a meetup location. There's nothing hostile going on whatsoever, but, there's a lot of cars, and this is a place of business. There's customers that they have to worry about and think about. So while there was really absolutely nothing hostile going on whatsoever.
I'm glad Bastard Walmart didn't feel that way. We were able to have all our flags there for Justice. He was a young boy that died, and he loved the rebel flag.
They wanted people to move. So we will move along with them. I see a lot of comments about people should be praying and seeking healing. I got to be honest with you. We're seeing a lot of that. And quite frankly, no matter which side of this issue you sit on, it probably wouldn't hurt to say a prayer either way, because this is a very polarizing issue.
We had over 100 people in West Memphis sitting there waiting for the ride. They come to the location with only a few. And then they tried to just scramble them.
Crazy day. Stay safe out there. No question about it that we are keeping safety in mind. Everyone is keeping safety in the front of their minds. I'm seeing comments about everything isn't racist. The people that I have spoken with today that you heard from earlier on this Facebook Live video said to me straight up, this is not a black thing, this is not a white thing. This is about history to these folks. And preserving history.
I don't know where he is.
So
Hey, I'm here watching. I'm on the gang unit, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm watching these folks, man. It is what it is. I had to get special permission to cross that state line.
oh, there you go.
Hey, hopefully this will go smooth. Everybody just chill.
Yeah.
Do your
They said,
Yeah,
well,
we just there's a guy with the gang unit right next to it just pulled up, and he said
were
that
cool with us, man.
his
They
hopes
talked to us
everything
and
goes
stuff,
smooth, and that's the type of preparation that everyone's put into this whole thing. And so safety is obviously first and foremost.
So, man, we got
We're seeing prayers come in from Michigan, and that's another point is that when these statues came down in Memphis, the country watched. The entire country watched. And
All right, man.
appreciate it. Thanks. You too.
And it was
Yeah, these guys are
disgusting.
nice, stay safe out there,
Removing
which again, we're
memorials
keeping
to
that
our
in front
dead
of our
Confederate veterans is hatred. That is hatred. That is racism. That is discrimination.
He's a journalist with the Atlantic, and he's been following these
I
guys around
am
for
with
like
a white photographer today. I saw a question about if I went the black or white photographer. I went the white photographer, but I don't think that really matters. I mean, it's
Just get behind me.
Yeah, but
it's
they were
not.
all talking to him real
That's
nice.
not the issue today. The issue
You
today
never
is
know
about
with these
history and preserving history, at least according to these folks. So I'm going to step outside here real quick because it looks like there's another sheriff's deputy that is talking to these folks. I'm going to turn the camera around here real quick.
He actually documented all the discrimination that we suffered.
Take flags down so they don't make us move.
Oh, they told you to take the flags down? Why?
I don't know.
Okay, so now deputies are making them take...
No, not the deputies. So they won't come out and they just want to take our flag down. Deputies are here to protect us.
I gotcha.
They're not telling
So
us
the
to
store
move.
management is telling you to take the flags
Store
down.
management over there told us to take them down. They want to take them down here, so store management here don't
I'm not taking my flag down.
You're not taking it down.
No, I'm not taking my flag. I'll move it in if I need to, but I'm not taking my flag down. The flag stays.
So the store management
That
just told
flag stays. We're keeping our flag. No, not fixing to let them do that.
So how come you're not taking the flag down?
That's the whole reason we're out here. This is the whole reason we're out here. I'm not taking the flag down. Well, we
Amen.
were asked to move, we moved. Well, and like the man said, you know, he was just talking to us. He said, I see no reason that y'all need to move. You're being very peaceful. No one's arguing.
Right.
Some lady said that one of us tried to run over her. None of our vehicles have moved since we parked, so it's already starting.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be so peaceful.
And that's one of the things that you kept telling me is that, listen, you're just here to...
Yeah, they were shooting guns in New Orleans and trying to blame it on us.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Nobody even had any ammo.
This is not a race war.
All right. You probably just want this thing to get started, don't you?
I'm ready. I wish Jesse would come on. Let's go.
Right. So basically, right now at this point, you're still waiting for the.
Well,
the
I'm assuming that they will run off from Walmart and Olive Branch also, because now the Olive Branch is going to meet us here, and Tunica is meeting us here.
So everyone's meeting up over here.
Everyone's meeting
So
right here.
they're en route. They're on their way.
They're
You're
en
meeting
route.
over. Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. So there's a little bit of new information. I guess some of the other meetup locations are going to be meeting over here where we're at right now. It seems like some of the store management at some of these businesses are asking some of these folks or all these folks to remove their Confederate flags. Some people say they're doing it. As you can see a flag over my shoulder here. Some people aren't. You just heard Renee talk about it. She says she's not doing it. So they agree everyone that's out here is being very peaceful. They're not causing any problems. They're not doing anything malicious. But there is a bigger, larger crowd that's now starting to gather. They know that. They know that there's a lot of eyeballs on this. There's a lot of people watching. See if maybe we can go over here and take a look at some of these flags.
Beautiful, isn't it? It is awesome.
Yeah, please do, 'cause that's the worst part of it, or the best part, some people say.
Okay, so apparently they're not making them take down all the flags.
We refuse to take them down. We'll just move again. Next parking lot. Well, I got on there and told them they made us move, so they should know where we're at. Okay. No.
Hey, sir, how's it going?
Very good.
So you just got done putting all these flags up.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a quick question. We're on Facebook Live here
That's fine.
with Fox 13. So why are you participating in today's ride?
Why? I'm ready to serve American history. I'm 15-year veteran. My dad was a veteran. My two uncles served in Korea. And I'm tired of this government and all these people want to take our monuments down. But they ain't done a thing wrong. They've been here 100 plus years. What have they done wrong? We're just trying to keep American history.
What do you want people to remember about today and the ride that you're participating
And
in?
we all come in unity, and we're tired of people being pushed around. We're tired of the local governments, the federal governments, the state governments telling us what we can and can't do.
You know, there's a lot of people commenting, you know, race. Obviously, race is front and center in this issue. You know, when people say that, what's your response to that?
It ain't about race. The government wants you to make it think it's about
Amen, honey.
race, but it ain't about race.
It's about people not being educated and learning the facts. Do they teach you about the
Ignorance
Civil
of
War
true
in school
history.
anymore? Do they teach you about the Holocaust in school anymore? No, they cut all that out. They don't want people to know the truth. People are scared of the truth.
Have you heard anything as far as like logistics as to what's going to happen from here on out? As I understand, there's going to be a couple of groups from some of the other meetup spots over here.
That's all I've heard. I don't know any facts on it.
Gotcha. How long do you plan to ride today?
As long as I can.
Yeah.
I've been on 800 miles before. So it don't bother me a bit. If they want to ride, we'll ride.
All right. All right. What's your name?
Bruce.
Bruce. All right. Thanks for talking to me,
Yes,
Bruce.
sir.
All right. So there's Bruce. There's his opinion on what's going on, why he's here today. There's Bruce's flags on his truck in the background. So again, we were told that some of the store management where we're at was told some of these folks to take the flags down. As you can see, they're now putting them all back up. Looks like there's going to be a couple of the other meetup spots. They're going to be meeting over here where we're at right now. And we're just waiting for direction. We're waiting for direction from the Confederate 901 folks to say what the next move is. And then we follow. Then we ride along. We follow their ride, and we document it, and we report it. So that's kind of where we stand right now. Keep this up for just a little bit longer. Let's see what's going on. Just kind of walk around here. I saw a question about ask the black guy why he's here. Well, that's actually another reporter that is documenting today's events as well.
There were
Answer that
black
question
people
right
there
there.
too, you guys, as supporters of the Confederate flag. Andrew Duncan wasn't on this ride, Black Rebel.
Again, we're seeing a lot of support for these folks. Yeah, it is a little chilly out here. I'm not gonna lie. You know, we got our fleece on. I got my gloves on. We'll make it work. But this is an important story to tell. Again, no matter which side of the issue you are on, it's an important story to tell. So we're going to be out here. We've got crews throughout Memphis. Of course, I'm at one of the meetup locations here. So we're going to continue to stay out here and document it as it happens for you.
I had an interview and I addressed the corruption with green space and the corrupt attorneys selling the property for a little bit of nothing. Tammy Sawyer was involved in this. Tammy Sawyer was an elected official in Memphis, and she was one of the major instigators of all of this corruption and staged political media to create division and civil unrest, which is the definition of terrorism. That's what Green Space participated in.
I really need that pamphlet for that, for the masses. I feel like I watched that argument go back and forth where people are like, they're black Confederates, and then people are like, no, they're RN.
If you're just joining us here on this Facebook Live, I see there's a bunch of people continuing to join in. And if you're unfamiliar with the state of events that has transpired up to this point, we'll quickly just recap that. So back on December 20th, the City Council unanimously voted to have the Nathan Bedford Forrest and the Jefferson Davis statue removed from, at that time, it was city-owned land. So what that vote did is it gave Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland the power to sell those parks for a very nominal price, which ended up being $1,000 each, to a private company or a nonprofit group, which is, we later found out, was called Memphis Green Space. Memphis Green Space, as the new owners of those properties, had private contractors come in and remove those two statues and take them to an undisclosed location. That is what has led us up to today. This group, Confederate 901, which they're having people come in from a bunch of different states. They're meeting up at locations all across the Mid-South, and they're going to participate in what they're calling a peaceful ride, which is why you're seeing all the flags on the back of these trucks. The people that are standing outside
Green
right now,
Space was owned by Black Lives
the
Matter
ones that are going to participate
operatives.
in this ride. They are waiting for the instructions. So the leaders of Confederate 901 have said that they are going to be giving instructions here at some point coming up. So they're just waiting for those instructions. We don't know exactly what the route of this ride is going to be. We just know there's going to be a ride. So
I wish I could find the video of the helicopter view above us, because
people are asking
they
about
were
Memphis
watching for
Green Space, the
Antifa and
nonprofit
Black
that now
Lives
owns the
Matter
parks.
to bombard the
president of
interstate.
Memphis Green
People
Space
were stopped on
is
top
a
of their
man named
vehicles
Van Turner.
cheering us
He
on.
is a Shelby County
I had the
commissioner.
hood
He's also
flag
an
on
attorney
mine.
that
I
sees
enjoyed
a
that
job.
ride immensely.
And he has been very vocal and on the record in the past, many times before, saying he's a supporter of these statues coming down. We did find out through the mayor's office that Green Space and Van Turner came to the city of Memphis several months ago with the idea that they would be willing to buy the parks if it were even possible. So that's where that idea originally came from, and that allowed the city to basically step around the state
Unethical.
law. State law said that the historical commission needed to provide a waiver for any statue or monument to come down. So the city sidestepped that, and what they say was a legal move. They sold the parks to Van Turner's Green Space, his nonprofit.
They skirted
and
state
the statues
law.
are
Did
now
you
gone.
hear that?
So that's what has led us
That's what
up
the
to
crooks
today.
did.
And these folks, they say they're here to preserve their Southern heritage and their Southern history. And here we are. Here we are. As part of the sale of those two pieces of property, there are some restrictions and stipulations. They have to remain open to the public. But if you try to go over to Health Sciences Park right now, that thing is pretty much on lockdown. There are
Hundreds.
barricades all over the place.
Hundreds.
So it looks as if police and other law enforcement are getting ready for a press conference. So I'm going to hop off Facebook Live right here so that we can live stream that press conference on Facebook Live and on over on Fox 13. So stay here. We'll probably be getting back on Facebook Live in just a minute with a press conference from the Memphis Police Department. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. We will be back in a little bit. All right. Thanks, everybody.